Welcome to What the It's the most watched show at the Mountain View Police Department's holding cell. I hear they get more confessions that way. Let's get a preview of tonight's show from James Ilg in the newsroom. James, what do we have in store for tonight's show?
Jim, well, let me tell you what we've got in store for you. We have an all-female panel here, and for them, we have some special topics. Topic 1, are pretty women becoming more common and handsome men becoming more rare? Jim, if this is true, there might be hope for us yet. Second, do women misperceive their weight? Jim, do my eyebrows make me look fat? How long do women really take to go shopping is our third topic. Studies say 5 years. 5 years. Really? Wow. Lastly, we have, does men's addiction to video games cost them their relationships? Or rather, do relationships cost you that high score? Jim?
Thank you, James. We'll see you at the end of the show. And as James says, welcome to Ladies' Night, where all the panelists are ladies, and why they're all sitting far away from me, because that's where all the restraining orders limit me to. Starting with the person sitting farthest from me, it's writer and member of the comedy troupe Suburban Squirrels, it's Teresa Condon. She's cuter than a Smurf and a strawberry shortcake, carving the entrails of a little pony. Next to her, she knows books like I know crooks. I hang around some shady people, character people. It's library worker Jenna Christ. She's so organized, chaos theory makes an exception for her. Finally, she's a nurse and Suburban Squirrel, Frankie J. She's so funny, dentists will use her instead of laughing gas. Issue 1. Is a good man hard to find while pretty faces a dime a dozen? If looks could kill, would ugly fill the bill? Dr. Satori Kanazawa of the London School of Economics has concluded that beautiful women are more likely to have daughters than the plain Janes who are more likely to have sons. Kanazawa analyzed data from a survey of 17,000 babies born in Britain in March of 1958 and tracked them throughout their lives. At the age of 7, their attractiveness was rated by their teachers. Then, when they reached 45, they were asked about the gender of any children that they had. Those who had been rated as attractive were equally likely to have a son or daughter as their first child, but the unattractive ones were more likely to have a son. Dr. Kanazawa believes that parents tend to produce children that benefit from their own attributes. So, pretty faces produce pretty kids. Uggos produce faces only a mother could love. With more on this exciting development, we turn to our Russian science correspondent, Leonid Lemur. Leo, what do you think of this provocative theory?
Oh, yeah.
You know, I guess this Leonid's not really impressed with this at all. But I will start with you, Frankie. Are you buying this?
I'm not buying this at all. First of all, what's an economist doing thinking about this type of thing? And isn't it the men that decides the sex? So how does that come out with women, beautiful women make beautiful baby girls if it's the guy that makes the decision with that Y chromosome?
Oh, you got a point there, but wait a minute. I don't think Dr. Kanazawa is an economist. He just is a professor at the London School of Economics, which I assume it might be a multi-dimensional university.
Could be. You're absolutely right. I didn't think of that. Maybe he teaches janitorial skills.
And shout out to London School of Economics. Go Lumberjacks. Anyways.
Lumberjacks.
Go Lumberjacks. Jenna, you buying this?
Not at all. The science just sounds ridiculous. And then they base the attractiveness on their teacher rating them at 7 years old. What's up with that?
Well, you know, that's, I assume, when you're cutest, right? No? Or not?
Some people become more attractive as they age. Some people become less attractive as they age. There's so many variables. And the subject there, the size of the study was just really small. And then other studies show that it comes out to just about 50-50 boy to girl ratio in births. Isn't it something like that? And it just sounds ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm sure James will look this up while he's fact-checking because he has a lot of stuff to do. But I believe the birth ratio currently is about 105 boys to 100 for every 100 girls born. And it usually evens out because boys die sooner. But,
nice.
Okay. But, yeah. But so, what about you, Teresa? You buying this?
Yes, I am. Well, if you're talking about women getting more beautiful and men getting uglier, You only have an example right here at the table. You just need to look at this table for a good example of that. And there's my point.
I got
Total evidence right here.
All right, but okay. So anyway, but assuming that then this is true, then Teresa, would this? How do you think this news would go over if we gave this news out at a science fiction or comic book convention?
I think that would only reinforce the study. I mean, that's kind of like a nerdy.
But would they be happy or would they be sad?
I don't think guys don't really care that much. Girls would like to hear this, of course, but I don't think the guys would care very much.
Okay. So then, how would this news go over at, say, what conventions do pretty women go to? Stripper
High
convention?
heel conventions,
Oh, yeah. Okay.
maybe heels. I don't know.
The high heel convention. How would this go over at
Manolo
a fashion
Blahnik
show?
sample sale.
How about a fashion sale? How about a fashion show? How would this news go over?
Superficially.
Superficial?
Absolutely.
So you don't think this would encourage more bulimia in plastic surgery?
Heck no.
It's just encouraging pretty women just keep having children.
Oh, okay.
That's right.
As opposed to, since there's more competition for for a pretty woman, for fewer and fewer guys. You don't think that would make them more insecure than anything?
Make the guys more
Fewer and
insecure?
Make the
fewer
women more
guys?
insecure.
Because there's fewer and fewer guys.
There are fewer guys, so the women have to.
Well, they have to lower their standards.
That's right. And that's not hard to do.
It
We
isn't?
do it a lot.
Okay, so pretty women do lower their standards?
Absolutely.
I think the news. I think I hear faint cheering in the newsroom.
Do you really?
I hear faint cheering in the newsroom, but they'll let us know at the fact-checking scene. All right. So, but if this is true, then since Teresa, you're the only one who believes this, you think there might be a future for polygamy?
Okay. I don't think that's going to be the case. I mean, yes, some of us will have to lower our standards eventually, but not everyone.
Okay.
I don't. Yeah.
So
you're saying that as women are the more attractive women reproduce with more attractive women and less men, so there will be more and more women and they'll be more and more beautiful and there are less men,
or just fewer handsome men. I think if you read the
so
story,
actually that would be polyandry if it's one woman marrying multiple men. No, it'd be a bunch of ugly guys married to one beautiful woman.
no, that's polyandry. But if it's
Yes.
but if it's on the flip side, it's just only the pretty people get together. Then it'd be one handsome man with multiple pretty women, or as we call it, Brad Pitt syndrome.
Absolutely.
I don't know. This
You know
is
what? The
really weird.
gene pool does need some cleansing. So
Or the
this
John
could
Mayer
be a good
syndrome.
thing.
How's that?
Yay,
How-
ethnic
is that better?
cleansing.
John Mayer syndrome? No,
What about
What's
him?
John Mayer?
it's better than Brad
It's
Pitt
cleansing.
because he gets
He's
around.
musical.
No, he just gets around a lot.
I don't really pay
see.
attention to his love life. I listen to his music sometimes. That's about it.
This is the all ladies panel. You're supposed to pay attention to stuff like
Oh,
this.
sorry.
Yeah.
Is John Mayer like woman catnip or something?
Yeah,
Oh, he's going off
apparently.
Taylor Swift, isn't he?
Yeah.
Or did.
Did.
At one point, yeah.
All right.
Well, they all intermarry. So it's funny that they're not just
it's like
making
the-
mutations of themselves.
It's
out
like the
there.
French court or something, you know, like the European high class.
Exactly.
Right.
All right. Moving on to issue number 2. Do ladies have a blind eye to the size of their backside? Are women who are fat, P-H-A-T, think they're fat, F-A-T? Researchers from the University of Texas Medical Branch at Galveston, go Hurricanes, report that nearly 25% of overweight and obese women rated themselves as normal or even underweight, while a good chunk of female participants who were normal or underweight reported practicing dieting behaviors, some of them unhealthy, to peel off the pounds. The study analyzed survey results for more than 2,200 U.S. women ages 18 to 25 who answered questions about their self-perceived weight, their actual weight and height, and socio-demographic variables. On the flip side, 16% of white women and 20% of Hispanic women who were either normal or underweight thought they were fat. So, if it's not the genes that make you look fat, it's your eyes. For more, we turn to our fashion correspondent, Alice Goon. Alice, your comments? Well, it's good to see that Alice did find some work after her stint in Popeye. But anyways, all right. So, Frankie, let me ask you, You buying this?
Well, I think that most of the American public is overweight, and I feel that we probably could all stand to have our BMIs done right when we have our blood pressures done.
Well, not necessarily that we're overweight, but that we don't know it. That we misperceive it. You buying this?
No, most people know they're overweight.
Okay. All right. Yeah, what about you? What about you, Jenna?
I can buy that. There's a lot of self-deception going on out there. And then the people that have eating disorders either way, they have the disorder because they're exaggerating something in their head, and they think that, you know, if someone's trying to make themselves thin, anorexics, for example, it's because they think they're too fat, even though they're starving themselves, and vice versa. So certainly there are people that have eating disorders that comes out of having some sort of misperception of themselves.
All right.
So yeah.
So is this? But then let me ask, throw it to you, just all generally. Is this actually news, or is it just like not a big surprise that people have misperceptions either one way or the other about their weight?
I don't think it's a surprise.
No.
I think all doctors can tell you that, and certainly any husband that's ever had to answer the question, "Do these jeans make me look fat?" could certainly stand to say, "Oh."
Yeah, I think on behalf of all the guys, what is the best answer for that question?
You look lovely, no matter
Absolutely.
what.
And no matter what.
No matter what. Yeah, I wouldn't put the no matter what.
Even with the third eye, you're just hot. Is that it?
It's exactly right.
You don't want to be insulting. If you said anything insulting, you'd be in the doghouse. But if the person is actually asking for an evaluation of their appearance because they're about to go out the door and they want to look good, you could say something like, you know, that looks okay, but I prefer that other pair of jeans that look really good on you, or something like that.
So that won't get a guy in trouble?
I can't say I'm speaking for womankind as a whole. I mean, each person's going to have a different reaction, but I think I'd react pretty nicely to that. Like, oh, you really like those such and such pair of clothes? Sure.
Oh, wait a minute. I don't know. I'm hearing something from the newsroom. I think that's someone. It sounded like someone fell out of his chair. I'm not sure. Well, we'll find we'll find that out.
We'll try and pick up the pieces.
All right. So we're at our first break. So what can you do with 5,000 pounds of plastic shopping bag? Teresa Condon tells us her ingenious solution to the condor infestation problem after our next break. And that's where I put OJ's knife and bloody glove. Oh, back to me. Issue 3. After 5 years have expired, are the ladies fashionably attired? And are they slaves to fashion or just merely apprentices? A survey from the Clothes Show Live shows the average British woman will spend 5 years of her life, or 600 hours a year, shopping for clothes. The survey also shows women spend 1,000 pounds, or $1,580 every year on their wardrobes, and will buy an average of 24 pairs of shoes during a 12-month period. I don't think I've had 24 pairs in my life, but anyways, so that's where all the closet space goes to, isn't it? Okay. Anyways, let's see here. Clothes Show Live producers estimate the time women spend shopping equals the time that they spend in college. Oof. Too bad they don't give out degrees in style. For more, we turn to our fashion correspondent, Goldie Treverson. GT, what do you think?
Come on, Max. Come on. Walk over there and make her come to you. Retard.
Goldie sure loves showing off her Jimmy Choos, eh? Well, all right. Teresa, I'll ask you this. 5 years seem a little high or a little low in your estimation?
That seems a little high, Jim. I must say, by the way, I do have a degree in style, as you can tell, right? Right? Okay.
What style is that?
Awesome.
Okay. All right.
It's my new line, my new style line. It's coming out soon. It'll be in stores December 2011.
Oh.
Get that plug in there.
All right.
I make all my own clothes, so.
What do you make them out of?
Mostly awesome.
Yeah. If awesome was a cloth. No. I make them, I like to make them out of rainbows and
It's very ethereal.
marshmallows and
The
things like
fabric
that.
is
yeah.
really ethereal.
There. All right. So, Jenna, you buying this? 5 tiers, too high or too low for you?
I don't know. I don't know how much time I spend. I probably spend time less time than the average lady. But I did wonder. It seemed like the study was implying that it was the woman shopping for herself. But I know a lot of families where the woman shops for her kids, for her husband's clothes. So was that taken into account?
From the appearance of the study, it seems like it's just for themselves.
Just for themselves.
Because you anticipated one of my future questions. But anyway.
Oh, sorry.
But no, it's good. Yeah, that's good. We're on the same page. So, Frankie, high or low?
Oh, that to me seems absurd. 5 years. I can't imagine myself spending 5 years shopping
Okay,
for
so
clothes
about
throughout.
10 hours a week, 10, 11 hours a week. That sound a little. That's what it ends up to being. Does that sound?
That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
I do know that sometimes when I get stressed, I don't necessarily buy things, but I do go shopping sometimes.
Retail therapy.
Retail therapy.
It
Maybe
works.
just one
It
nice
works.
new thing. You're like, I got a great pair of boots. I feel better.
So, yeah, but if it all added up, do you think it'd add up to 5 years or?
Probably not.
All right. Okay, 24. Okay, then let's start with you, Jeff. 24 pairs of shoes a year. A little bit too high, a little bit too low.
Low for me, absolutely.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute. So you.
No,
bought-
wait. Hi. I certainly do not have that many shoes. That's what I meant.
Well, how many shoes is a lot for an average woman?
I don't know, because you have, people that work in really nice environments, they have to have all their dress shoes. The dress shoes have to match all their clothes.
How many shoes do you have? Estimate.
I have maybe 5 pairs of boots that I really love, and then a couple tennis shoe kind of things, and
Alright.
then maybe a couple dress shoes. So around 10, I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah,
What about you,
I'd say
Frankie?
I have about 10.
10 pairs of
10
shoes?
pairs of shoes, 1 pair of boots.
Okay.
That's about it.
Teresa?
I have about 6 pairs of shoes. That includes boots, flip-flops, walking shoes, and
flip-flops.
running shoes. I have about 6 pairs of shoes. I think 24 sounds pretty ideal, though.
Okay. But somehow,
If I could afford that, that'd be great.
somehow, there are men are to blame for this somehow, right?
Yes.
Well, they like us in stylish high heels that show off those luscious calves.
Okay. All right. Okay. Issue 4. Will seeking the high score keep you from the bedroom score? And will Call of Duty cost you a call of booty? Survey of 1,500 gamers and their partners by OnePoll.com shows that 5% of video game enthusiasts admit that the hobby has cost them a relationship. 1 in 10 men confess to having rejected a night of sex for more time online. The Call of Duty series were the games most likely to cause problems in a relationship, along with, scroll up please, along with Football Manager, Grand Theft Auto, FIFA, and Medal of Honor. And it also emerged that 4 out of 10 gamers play computer games every night of the week. 7 out of 10 gamers admitted their partner regularly became annoyed about the amount of time they spent playing video games. Not mind games, ladies. 1/5 of men spent 10 or more hours a week playing games. Again, video games rather than mind games, ladies. For more, we turn to our relationship correspondent, Melanie Breston. MB, what should ladies with gamer boyfriends do?
No, that's a party set.
You know, I think that might be the new control attachment for the Wii version of Rockstar. But anyways, but thank you very much, Melanie. Okay, so all right, so let's start. I'm going to start with you, Frankie. Do you have this problem?
No, actually, I don't have the. It's not the video problem, but I do have a husband that's addicted to football.
Okay.
Being from the South, he is like, if the Auburn game's on right now, he's not doing anything but watching Auburn play.
Okay. So he's addicted to watching football, not playing
but
football.
not playing football.
Because that'd be hell on the knees. How about you, Jenna?
I think I'd be atypical for this situation because I'm a gamer too. So sometimes in past years, my significant other was at a computer playing StarCraft. This was a couple years back, and I was at a computer playing Final Fantasy, and so at least we're understanding of each other. But yeah, sometimes, you know, those Final Fantasy games can take 80 hours to complete sometimes. You have to run around doing all those quests. And the spouse comes in and says, you know, do you want to go do something? And I'm like, no, I have to get this quest. I have to get the special ring.
Okay.
So I'm the opposite end of that, yeah.
Do you play cooperatively or competitively with your significant other?
There actually have been some games that we played that were really fun. Baldur's Gate. That was great because I ran around casting healing spells, and he was attacking with his sword, and
She's so dating herself. I don't think Teresa was even born when Baldur's Gate was out. Teresa, you have this problem?
All I can say is, wow. Okay, come on, tell me you got that, guys. Okay, anyways.
No pun intended, right?
Right, exactly. No, I'm pretty sure that's true. My boyfriend's not a gamer, thank God. I would not want to date a gamer. A lot of my friends do, and they see them about once a month.
Okay.
So,
well, there could. Okay, I'll just close out. Could there be a better way for a man to spend his time than being on the game? Yeah, you can think.
buying flowers?
Okay.
Yes.
How long does that take?
Oh my God, exercising, anything.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Than sitting, just going like this. That, you know.
Okay. Well, okay. So let's see here then. Okay. So then, why do you think men spend so much time on games? Francie?
Why do they spend so much time on games? Because they are one single-mindedness. They don't multitask.
Jenna, what do you think?
well, why does anyone spend any time on a particular hobby? I mean, I also love to read. It's that you go into a whole new special world. You're the center of everything when you're playing a video game. All the little, pretend characters are coming up to you and helping you. It's much easier to exist in this fake reality than actual reality and having to go take out the garbage and do the dishes and stuff like that.
What about you, Teresa?
Well, men are naturally very competitive, and so maybe they might fail at real life, but they can always win at their computer games.
Well, isn't that true? Because if you screw up in a relationship, you don't get to reboot, right? Do you get to reboot?
No.
You get to load the previous version and just start all over again? Okay. All right. So we're on to our second break. So, can a man be too well endowed? James Ilg will tell us after the next break why he can only do this show sitting down. And that's how I got the walnut out of my nose. Oh, we're back from our break. All right, so let's go to our fact checkers in the newsroom to see where we got wrong. I think, James, you have a friend joining you in the newsroom. So, where we go wrong?
Yeah, Jim, we pulled in Scott off the street, and he's going to help us with correcting some of our factual errors.
Oh, go ahead.
First of all, we've got Frankie here, who has under the impression that men decide to have sex or not. I'm not sure what planet she's coming from, but in my world, it's always the woman who's the gatekeeper here.
Can be sometimes, but they'll instigate it in all kinds of different ways. You get the message.
James, when you say gatekeeper, are you talking about a character in one of the games you play?
We'll get to that later. Scott, I think you had a few ideas that you want to share with the group.
Well, here's the thing. Jim, the fact that we're speaking of gatekeepers here, I find it very interesting that Teresa's really concerned about nerd conventions and things like that when she's the person who decides that, well, if a man cannot recite the first Harry Potter book from memory, she's just not going to date him.
That's right.
Okay, and Jenna, you're speaking about, there's a nice way to say things, and you're trying to make it all nicey nice, and everything's going to be fine when the woman asks, these jeans make me look fat. Well, let's just face it, Jenna, what if there's nothing she wears that makes her look remotely good?
Damn. No comment. I guess that's what you should say.
Thank you for being quiet.
But
Teresa, as far as the shopping's concerned, I think that you're the exception that proves the rule. Because right now your clothes kind of look like circa Nixon administration. So I'm not really sure if you're
Okay.
doing the whole 5-year bit when it comes to shopping.
No, she's not counting trips to Goodwill. Trips to Goodwill don't
okay.
count as shopping, obviously, right?
Well,
Scott?
no, and Frankie, I have one problem. You're talking about one that you really like. He ignored you for football, and you said Albany. And
Auburn.
he's from the South.
Auburn.
You stated Albany. I heard it quite well. I'm a
well,
man, and
then I
always
made
listen
a
to women.
mistake.
That's how it works.
And
No,
you
she's-
are so wonderful to pick that up. I thank you so much.
She said Auburn, also known for their fighting beagles. Where's that?
Oh, outstanding. Outstanding. Oh, and one other thing that I definitely have a question about fashion. Jenna, that scarf you're wearing, is that supposed to be the part of your fashion that says, I know you, please choke me so I'll stop talking to you?
Actually, a friend did that once. She didn't realize it was around my neck, and she pulled, and I was like, please let go. But no, that means I'm cold.
Okay, one final thing, Teresa, as far as your style goes. You said that you would never date a gamer and haven't date gamers, and you know plenty of people that do. Could it be the fact that the reason why gamers won't date you is because you're so fashion backward and they're looking for something a little more modern and trendy?
I never considered that, but thank you for pointing it out. That's probably it.
Scott, do you know any gamers that are that fashion conscious?
I know, really. Come on.
Jim, look at you.
Yeah, exactly.
You're
Look at
amazingly
me,
fashion
baby.
forward, sir.
Ooh la la.
You
Look
were
at
after all
all
the person
this.
who brought up Jimmy Choo shoes.
That's right. I guess you know you're cheap if your clothes are older than you are. You do, or just like vintage stuff, right?
Well, no, and Jim, the one thing I do have to say is that you're concerned about asking questions of what makes people look good and what's acceptable. Jim, I'm sure you must know by now, with all the times you've been rejected, there really is no right answer.
Well, no, the answer is always no, or for the dog, woof, right?
Actually, I think the answer is usually get your hands off me.
No. The ISIS, the inflatable gap. My inflatable girlfriend never says no. She just says.
Oh, yeah, and one final thing I have to say. It seems like Jenna knows a lot about games. It seems like you know a lot more about games than Dateless Jim.
Then a what?
Daedalus Jim.
Dateless.
Oh, a gym.
And that's about all we have for you
That's over my head.
today, there, Jim.
Sorry.
All right. Okay, we're at the end of our show. Teresa, great job. Jenna, awesome as always. Frankie, awesome.
you.
Knocked out of the ballpark. Fact checkers, you guys disgust me. Thank you very much. Later.